So welcome, Jessi. This is so awesome. We have Jessi Gurr with us today. For those of you who don't know, next Friday will be our first annual WordCamp Santa Clarita, and one of my favorite people is going to be there. We met back in Chicago. We were both on the speakers session, and you went ahead of me. And
Yeah.
what I remember about that day was you were so awesome and inspiring me because um, most people that are in this business are solopreneurs and they're looking for something more. And you talked about that path, and you've always been sort of that guiding post for me. So it's so awesome that you're going to come out, and you're going to come out twice. You're going to be at WordCamp Orange County as well.
I am. I'm a part-time California resident
Oh, nice.
so I'm
Oh,
excited for that. Yeah.
yeah, the weather will definitely hook you. It's so
Yeah.
nice outside right now.
Yeah.
What's it like back there in Minnesota?
It's actually gorgeous. It's a gorgeous 50-degree day today. High of maybe 52, but the snow is melting. And for those of us that suffer through 18 months of winter a year, this time of year is pretty nice. So.
Yeah, I left it behind. I grew up in Michigan, so when I left Michigan, I left my coat. I didn't want to deal with the snow anymore. So I see it on the mountains, but that's it. So you're going to talk about project management for developers. Tell us a little about your speech and what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, so this speech kind of came from my experience working as a freelancer and as a solopreneur. Like many attendees at WordCamp, when you're the person doing all the work and talking to all the customers, there's a serious need for project management so that your projects stay on track, get completed on time, and even more importantly, so that you don't end up with the big bad scope creep and projects taking way too much time and going way out of budget. And so this talk really is geared towards the freelancer or towards the developer who kind of is the point of contact for their customers. I go over what it's like to be a project manager, just kind of some of the very basics of what project management is. I talk about kind of practical implication. So not so much following any one methodology, but really what can you take away today and what can you implement in your business that's going to help you manage your projects and keep them on track and keep your customers within scope. And then, depending on how much time we have at the end, I'll touch on some of the tools that I've used in the past to kind of track progress with projects.
Oh, awesome. That's so exciting. It's going to be difficult for me as the lead organizer, but I'm going to make sure I have my ear to the door, or at least in the room during the time. Talk about, I know you speak at a lot of WordCamps. Talk about your WordPress journey. What brings you into WordPress
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I started out kind of as a solopreneur, started my business back in 2005. I really embraced WordPress in 2005, 2006, more as a blogging platform personally, and then as some of my customers wanted a blog. And I've really just kind of followed the progression of WordPress, started doing, theme customization, child themes. And as my company grew into an agency, today what we do, pretty much all that we do, is custom WordPress development. So anything from setting up a super basic WordPress website to a really complex, like customized plugin development for a specific customer. And my involvement in the WordPress community started a couple of years through attending WordCamp Minneapolis, where I live. And then I attended WordCamp Chicago last year, where I met you. And I've done a lot of speaking locally, but I kind of got my foot into the door speaking at WordCamps. And I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the audience, with the other speakers, with the sponsors, just with everything around WordCamp and WordPress. The thing that I love about WordPress and the community is it's just so inclusive, and everyone is willing to share, no matter what their background is, no matter where they're coming from, they're totally willing to share their journey. And so I'm excited to be part of it and continue being part of it.
Yeah, to me, that's my favorite thing. It's the people in the community. It's so welcoming. Other conferences, you can't even get a sniff of the folks that are there. It's so, but WordPress is totally opposite. Who's that just came into the room?
Oh, this is my cat. So I work from home on Thursdays. I run an agency, and we have an office downtown Anoka. This is Callie. She's
nice.
A Spitfire.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so this is my coworker on Thursdays, which is
awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
You share your co-working space with Callie. Tell me about IceBerg. Your design firm.
Yeah, so it was just me. I started it in 2005, really kind of as a way to follow my passion. I just enjoyed building websites. I started learning HTML and making websites back in the 1990s, believe it or not.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I had just graduated college and kind of got a part-time gig at the local food co-op doing management, and just starting sort of a freelance agency fit right in with my schedule, fit right in with where I was. The business grew very slowly, one customer at a time. And over the first 10 years, it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of hiring of outside contractors to help with backlog. I hired on and off sales and marketing people just to kind of help with growth. And in the last 3-4 years, I've been really in go mode in terms of growth. So to put it in perspective, it went from 4 years ago, me and a couple of contractors, and I was working out of my basement, to today we have 9 full-time employees. We all go to an office downtown Anoka every day, except for Thursdays where I stay home. But yeah, and so we've been just in exponential growth. I've got on my team right now 3 developers. We have a dedicated project manager. We have a dedicated customer support, 2 people who do sales. And then we just recently brought on a content writer, which has helped a lot with production. So I try to run a business where everyone is super involved. We try to have a little bit of fun.
Hmm.
We really
Hmm.
like what we do, and hopefully that comes through in our relationships with our customers and our work.
And I think that's what's going to be so great about your presentation is that your journey is so incredible that you went from just you and now you have a great team and
Yeah.
it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me something else. Share something with our audience that
Oh, share.
because I know you're great during WordPress karaoke. Is there a go-to
Oh
song?
man, WordPress karaoke is definitely fun. Dwayne McDaniels, I'm not sure if he's going to be in Santa Clarita, but if you're going to Orange County as well,
Oh, he's definitely going to be there. He's going to be at Orange County. Yeah,
there you
and
go. And
hopefully we'll have him
so
next year.
that's so much fun. The lunch table topics, honestly, is what I've gotten the most out of any WordCamp that I've gone to. So if you're attending WordCamp this year, don't be afraid to walk up to speakers. Don't be afraid to walk up to other attendees, ask questions. I was at WordCamp Orange County last year and sat down over lunch with a group of other agency owners. And we just had, very open, honest discussions about the struggles in our business. And I left and I went back home and I was able to implement something into our business
Oh, that's incredible.
next week. And so I think that's just kind of the biggest thing is that I get out of the WordCamps and that I encourage attendees to take from it is come in with an open mind, come in and be ready to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions because you'll be amazed at how much people are willing to share.
And I know one of my first WordCamps in Los Angeles, I met Various Smith. I don't know if you know him, but he was so enthusiastic and energetic. He eventually went on to do WordCamp Riverside, and he was one of my, another one of my mentors in the WordPress space. So it all happened at a lunch table as well. So that's an incredible tip that I appreciate you sharing with the audience.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to be running WordCamp Minneapolis this year. So I'm hoping to, get your ear for a couple
I'll
of
definitely come back. Tell us when it is and how's the planning going?
We are almost official, so I can't technically say, but we are shooting for the weekend of August 22nd, 23rd, 24th. The format that we always do for WordCamp Minneapolis is a full workshop training day, so hands-on learning, and then a day and a half for the actual conference, the after party we do around the lunch hour. So typically on the University of Minnesota campus, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and this August. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know last year my son attends Michigan State, so I'm always back there, but it was a week after. So this year I'll make sure I extend it a week earlier. So I'll definitely be there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sparing some time. I know as a business owner, it's hard to get a spare minute, but I really appreciate you coming on and talking with me today.
Well, this was great. Thank you, Joe. This is what I reserve my Thursdays for, which
Awesome.
is why I stay home because our office can get pretty loud. So it's great to connect. I love connecting with other business owners, and I'm so excited to see your event here come together. And I will see you in just a short week.
All right. Thanks, Jessi. Again,
Thanks.
Jessi's going to be speaking on project management for developers at WordCamp Santa Clarita next Friday. See you, Jess.
Cheers.